For me, I think you said there's a question, right?
Yes. So, Dr. Sanusi, there are two questions for you. So, one, and that's from Shuaib. One is, what is the government doing regarding ensuring that the education sector keys into training students in renewable energy technologies, especially inculcating into curriculum or a standalone degree program? The second one is, will you say players can be rest assured in terms of policy consistency in engaging in renewable technology industry going into the future? So that's consistency around policy and the structure you've mentioned. And then two is similar to the challenge Kolawole said, if we do not have educated workforce or trained workforce to drive renewable energy projects, and how are we going to power that? So is there anything in particular you'd like to speak to regarding education and then consistency in policy? So those are the two questions for you. 1 second. Yes, please go ahead now.
Okay, thank you. So let me answer the second question. Yes, because for instance, the mini-grid regulation, which is basically the regulation that came in and just opened up the space, is a regulation. It's there. I don't see how that can, be changed easily because it's a regulation. It can be reviewed upon, testing it and seeing that there's need for improvement. Or it has come to stay largely. And like I said earlier, the country is a signatory to all of the UN Sustainable Energy for All, policies, protocols, and all of those things. And we basically have to be seen. But you could talk about if the government will carry on with this kind of political will. That I can't speak for, because we had a government in place before now. That will wasn't there, but this government has the will. When the next government comes, I don't know if they have the will. I mean, that's something to look forward to. However, the policies are there, the regulations are there, and they are there to stay. Then the first question, I forgot to mention that in every university that we are intervening, we are not just building power plants, but we also have a training center that we're building. So it's a renewable energy training center. It's part of the contract, really, where students in the university can have at least a conducive atmosphere with all of the equipment, for them to learn, renewable energy technologies. But and in fact, while implementing in the course of implementation, we chose 20 female engineers that worked on the project in every university that we are intervening in. This is not to discriminate against the male folks, but we just felt there was a shortage of female engineers within the space. We needed to give them hands-on experience, but after that, it's open for everybody to really tap into and benefit from. However, in terms of developing that the curriculum, that's not under us. We have a special agency called the National Power Training Institute. NAPTIN, National Power Training Institute of Nigeria. That's all they do. They're in charge of training, although we have some sort of MOU with them, for training, but it's not directly on us. And I know that they have been supported by the Nigerian Energy Support Program, who provided technical support for them to develop the right curriculum, for different courses, really, that you can specialize in across renewable energy, technologies. So that's in place. For people that are interested, I think they can check out the NAPTIN, National Power Training Institute. And also for universities that we're intervening in, we have training centers, and they are adopting some of the curriculum developed by NAPTIN and supported by Nigerian Energy Support Program.
Yeah, thank you. As we prepare to wrap up, we would want to have final words from each of our panelists. Maybe 1 minute each. We go around. Maybe start with Bimbo, Kola, Dr. Sanusi, in that order. But before then, I just want to chip in terms of the discussion we've had today. I think it's been very interactive, good questions coming from the audience. My perspective from this part of the world, in terms of additional support that the government is giving to implementing renewable energy. Like here, something we can look at in Nigeria as well, if we don't do that already, especially for you in the corridor of policy, where government can give tax incentive. We have energy tax, renewable energy tax incentive, not only for commercial installations, but even individual households. So if I install solar power on my house today, I could get tax incentive for some years down the line from the government. I think that would go a long way in helping us accelerating towards achieving renewable, because for every household that gets the installation, it is one less pressure on our national grid, right? And then another thing that I know has been helpful here, like all our panelists have mentioned, is the issue of financing, because of the initial installation cost. Even to the individual household level, the initial cost can be prohibitive. So I know we will get there someday. The more we're able to get our financial institutions to partner with companies in this field, it will go a long way. And I think we will get there, because if you look at even in the mortgage sector, maybe 10 years before now, you would not think there will be financing for. So that is my side. I think let's just wrap it up. Final words. I can't remember the order I said. Maybe let's start with Kola.
Debo, you said I should start. Yeah. So for me, my final word would be a quote from a French novelist and philosopher, Jean Sartre. He said, and I quote, that we are our choices. The choices we make today will determine the life we live tomorrow. So as a country, as a nation, as a people, as we make the choice to move towards renewable, will determine the impact and the things that follow. And we've seen development all over Africa. We've seen in Morocco that they are bent on achieving 52% renewable. We've seen it in Ethiopia, the Tigray region as well. And I'm glad Dr. Sanusi said a lot about what the government is doing in Nigeria as well. For organizations and businesses as well, this is the way to go. Even for oil and gas companies, you have a major role to play in the energy transition. Everyone has a role to play. And I think the future is bright if we all embrace it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Right. So first, thank you for putting this together. Like energy transition, like I said, is inevitable. And having conversations around it, conversations like this tend to do a few things. One, they create awareness of what is going on and awareness of what is coming and help people to prepare. They also serve as a reminder for people that have shifted their focus. And then they also serve as a perspective shift for people that were thinking in a particular way. Having this kind of conversations just helps you to shift your perspective to what matters, what the world needs to, as a people, come together to pursue and to do it the right way. That we will do a transition in our energy mix is inevitable, like I've said, but the way we will do it is what is not yet known. Nobody knows how it will come about. Nobody knows in which way. We can project as much as possible, but it is only if we all agree to work together and run in the same direction that it will be easier to make this change happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Kola. Dr. Sanusi, final word.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Debo. Thank you for putting this together, and my co-panelists. Thank you for a very interesting, discussion. Sometimes, we are swamped with work, implementing and trying to put projects all over the place that we tend to lose out on, conversations like this. But it's important for us as government to also hear from, the private side and also other stakeholders, what's going on and what some of the challenges are and how we can, continue to help. But our strategy has always been, to work with every stakeholder. Everyone is important. We have our role that we are best able to handle as government, but we know that we can't handle everything. And that's why we rely, on various stakeholders, the developers, the consultants, the academia, researchers, the innovators, everyone, and even people like yourself, Debo, that bring everyone together to discuss. So we are open. We feel like the strategy has been working so far. but we are not there yet. And you know, we're open to taking corrections, learning, and also doing more to ensure that we achieve, you know, the target of lack of energy access, you know, by at least 2030, or if not, we reduce the challenge significantly. So thank you for inviting me, and I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Fumi, let's wrap it up.
Yeah. So thank you so much. Thank you, Debo, for driving a brilliant conversation. Thank you, Bimbo, for sharing your expertise with us. Thank you, Kolawole, for sharing your blood and sweat with us. And thank you, Dr. Sanusi, for most importantly, giving a level of confidence and hope that an investor would require to step into this space. I think the three of you have done brilliantly well today, and I will say we've had a fantastic conversation. If we get questions after we end this live event, we'll push it to individuals, then you can answer and we can respond, because we have a weekly newsletter that goes out. So we sometimes still get questions for panelists after the show. So we'll share that with you. So I would say definitely we kept to time, 90 minutes. And this is the longest we've done so far. We typically do 60 minutes, but with 90 minutes, I think that's fantastic. And I will say thank you, everyone, and let's have a wonderful day. Thank you, Davo.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you,
everyone.
Cheers.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.